Hey, what's up, everybody? Much love to the usual suspects. Much love to the new jacks that are out there making videos, getting out the information, and in the search for indigenous truth. Today, I wanted to kind of go back to foundation a little bit because Hey is our foundation, and I don't ever want us to lose sight of that. There's a lot of information that's coming out. It's real easy to get pulled in 20 different directions with the information and of lose sight of it all. So, with that being said, I want to kind of take a step back. Um, as some of you may already know, I haven't created a classroom in a while because I take a step back, and at some point, you're going to have to take all this information that you're getting and actually apply it, in not just in these virtual worlds, not just in your research, but in your daily life, your daily aspect. It has to manifest itself. You have to learn how to address people as you grow in indigenous truth. And one thing that I've noticed with the search for indigenous truth is that the more information that you gain, the more research that you do, um, the more you start to see the hijack. You start to see things differently. You start to perceive things in a different way, and that's impossible to do. Um, that's impossible to do if you really are consuming the information, digesting it, reading, doing the research for yourself, looking over the information, uh, and when you start to interact with people, keywords starts to pop out at you, and things of that nature. So, you know, I guess the original point of this particular video um, was to kind of address something that I think many young folks who are not or are new to the indigenous truth may be coming across. And so maybe some of us who've already been going through this may have come across ourselves. And the old saying goes, you know, blood is thicker than mud. But yet the scriptures say that a brother is born through adversity. And then I would say to you, and this is where I'm going to go in our lesson today, that a person's God is thicker than blood. And what I mean by that is that at the end of the day, when you start to gain all the information, you start doing the research, start looking at the histories, parallel timelines, you start looking at the information that's been hidden from you, you start to see a pattern. And ultimately, people are what they believe. Ultimately, people are their God, so to speak, um, which brings us to the commandments, going back to the commandments in the first place. So let's go ahead and get this started. Right now, if y'all can hear it or not, the background got some Native American flutes playing. Just wanted to get that vibration going, make it feel good, so we can really digest this information and in a very logical fashion. Now, the reason why I bring this up again is because when you start to talk to people, and yes, when you start to talk to people, and you start confronting them with the indigenous truth, their reality, their God, really start to show themselves for itself. And again, we need to go back to what did the Creator say, what did Heya say about that. And why? And again, also, the reason why we as Hebrews are different. Okay. So when you search for the truth, you gotta go back to the commandments. When we go back to the commandments, we got the very beginning of the commandment. And if you've been in other people's classrooms, you know that each of the commandments actually represent a sin. Okay. So let's see and go to the beginning. And in Exodus 20, it states, and God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, showing mercy unto thousands of men that love me and keepeth my commandments. Now, that there is what you probably are coming up against when you're trying to talk to your friend that wants to hold on to this consciousness. When you talk to that brother that that's just strictly comedic, they want to give you that, or when someone is so lost in the Christian HiJack and worshiping this Jesus Christ and all of his variations thereof. And when you do your research, and this is why it's so important that either you worshiping the Creator or you worshiping these pantheon gods. And some of you have multiple gods that you worship. Anything outside of the Creator. And where we get lost is the simple fact that we need to go back to the beginning. Okay, when did this first HiJack first appear? And that God Himself, Heya, would have to make his first commandment. And once we get this foundation, I got some other stuff that I want to present. But once we get this foundation, then everything else after will make more sense in the progressive lessons. But most importantly, I don't ever want the nation, want the tribe to forget the very, very, very first thing, which is, we have to worship the Creator and follow the Creator. Now there are plenty out there that do not. It sounds like it, looks like it. Some of them are double hacks, double HiJacks that are out there. But this is what we have to stand firm and keep the commandments. So when we go and we see where did this this first appears, okay? This first appears here. The time we come across this is in Genesis 3:1. Now, Genesis 3:1 states, "Now the serpent." And clarification. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am reading out of the King James version. This is off of Bible Gateway. All right. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God hath made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, has God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. This is the first time where the HiJack first presented itself to the seed of Adam, to Adam and his seed and his wife Eve. Okay, and why is that important? Because this same beast, the same serpent, it's the same serpent that still plagues us to this day. This is not the first time we've encountered this, and it seems, no matter how you shape it or frame it, it kind of comes back to the same thing. Now, Brother King drop was breaking down, or has broken down, the whole soft spell barrier and stuff like that, and how it all goes back and it all ties together. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. Now, what I did was create some notes. I'm gonna put these notes up on screen here so that you guys can follow along, and we're gonna actually break this all down. Okay, and this is Genesis 3:1 by the precepts, and it's pretty interesting. Now, When we go to Genesis 3:1, it tells you to go to Mark 10:1. So let's go through that, pull that up. Okay. Matthew 10:1, and then we have to read Mark 3:13. Now, these all go together. Okay. So once you read verse 3:1, then you read Matthew 10:1, so on and so forth. Okay. So now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God has made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, as God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Okay, and then he tells you now, or been following Brother Lexwell, he tells you all the time, he states all the time, that the Old Testament is a testimony and the New Testament is a test. So we need to start taking the test. What do the Greeks say? The Gentiles say? Out of their own mouth, and let's deal with that. So Matthew 10:1, and when he called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of diseases. Okay, now again, the root or the seed verse here is Genesis 3:1. And what this entire verse is talking about, we're only talking about this serpent, okay? So let's not get confused as we progress, okay? Don't let the HiJack confuse you as we go forward, okay? Now, so this beast, he has 12 disciples. Now, we also know that this HiJack is hijacking Joshua, our Hawashiwa, with his 12 men from the 12 tribes. As Brother King would say, as the nation would say, you need to choose your Joshua. Now let's go to the next verse, Matthew 3:13. And he goeth up into a mountain, and calleth unto him whom he would, and they came unto him. Now, if you've been in Brother Teach Me to the Priest's classroom, you know that this is strictly talking about, or we see a reflection of this more than once, and that will be in the worship of Chemosh, Baal Peor, where he was in the mountain, and he calleth them whom he would, and they came unto him. Who is they? The Hebrews, the one who fell away. And again, I remember that, and if you remember what he taught you, it's gonna make more sense when I get to the meat and potatoes, if I can get to it in this video. And break that all down, how that is also important. Hopefully I'll be able to wrap back around. Okay, now then it says, so let's open up a new screen, because now it states for us to go to Revelation 12:9, and then that too has various precepts. Genesis 3:1, which goes back to the source verse. Luke 10:18, Revelation 9:1, which also goes to Luke 8:3:1, which goes to the Revelations 20:3. You can see this tree. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, let's do that first before I go into my additional notes. Okay, so let's open up a new tab here. Okay. And we're gonna go to Revelations 12:9. All right, Revelations. Revelations 12:9. Okay. Let's take this out, because I want to make sure I keep everything together here for you. Can y'all see that okay? I hope so. Is everyone doing well? Has everyone been blessed? Have y'all been enjoying time spent with your family? You've been sharing this knowledge that you've been getting from all the various teachers out here? I hope so. I hope you've taken the time to educate somebody else and wake somebody else up, because it's important. I'm at the point now where if people don't want to hear or accept it, then they just don't hear and accept it, and life goes on. We gotta believe it's written in the judgment day, the last day of the Lord, there, that great and horrible day, that, it's going to be what? Father against son, and this, that, and the other, and daughter against mother, and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of conflict. So, as you come into indigenous group, try to help somebody out, try to educate somebody, try to wake them up. But at the end of the day, you have to accept the fact that you might not be able to. You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to, and life goes on. They want their rapture, and then you gonna have your rapture. But your rapture's not a rapture. Your rapture's an exodus. You know what I'm saying? But we have to understand these gods, and I can't express that enough, because you don't understand the relationship between worshiping the Creator and not worshiping the Creator, worshiping these other members, having these other gods. And you might be wondering why you're getting hung up and stuff. A friend of mine once stated that he gave up on God, he gave up on prayer, and he let me know that he believed in that Christian, Jewish, not Jewish, but that Christian HiJack, that Jesus Christos, that Greek Messiah. And I asked him a simple question, and I asked him, maybe the God you was praying to ain't God, and that's the reason why your prayer didn't get answered. And that's all I really stated to him. And it was a long, weird silence, but that question sparked something in him that had taken years of build up to reassess all the information he had jumbled in his head. And that's all that you can hope to do sometimes. And try not to take it personally offensive, because as we tell people the indigenous truth, they're gonna resist it, especially our family. So any case, so let's go back here. Now we're gonna look at the next set of verses here. And again, this is going back in accordance with this Genesis chapter 3. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Let's do it like that. All right. So we got that. So let's read. I'm gonna bring that down some. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God hath made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Revelation 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out. Now again, we're talking about this serpent, okay? And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Okay? And we just read that he had 12 disciples. That's his pantheon. That's the pantheon of gods, if you guys. We all have been suckered into worshiping, multiple gods. Baal Peor. Okay? Now we go to Luke 10 to continue what it states. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Okay? And then we go to Revelation 9. Now remember, and let me go back while I'm thinking about it. And it said, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. And then when you couple this with the teaching that teach me to be briefly broken down, he disguised himself as what? An angel of light. Okay? All right? So Revelations 9:1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key to the bottomless pit. That's a real bacon noodle type of a line to state, because you've been taught that this Jesus Christ has been given the key to the kingdom, and I'm here to submit to you that he has been given the keys to the kingdom, but not as the Son of Man, the Son of God, and all the stuff that you've been taught to worship him as, but this beast, this serpent that's more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God has made, has been given the keys to the kingdom. And you've been lied to, people. And when you go into the research about that, you'll see exactly how badly you've been lied to. Your choices are simple. You can worship that Zeus and all of his forms and variation. You can worship the pantheon of gods that serve under Zeus, which still brings you back to worshiping Zeus, or you can worship the Creator and separate from it. Okay. Alrighty. So now it states that now this verse here, Revelations 9:1, tells you also to check out Luke 8:31, which also tells you to go to Revelations 20:3. So let's go ahead and crack that open real quick, since we're on the same branch, the same tree, as it were, under this 3:1 seed, noon. See where it leads us. What tree does it build? Since, what the serpent say. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Wow. It's a riddle, if you really want to know the truth of the matter. But in any case, come on now. There we go. Okay. Revelations 9:1 says, go to Luke 8:31. Luke. Can't type. Luke 8:31. 8:30. There we go. All right. Luke 8:31, and then it says to go to, and that goes into Revelations 20:3. All right. All right. So when we reread Revelation 9:1, it states, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the keys to the bottomless pit. Luke 8:31, and they besought him that he would not command them to go out into the deep. That's an interesting line, ain't it? Okay. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. Now, again, this is all going back to the serpent and everything else. So it's important to understand what this is all about, because my conjecture with the other bits of information and the research is that till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And I'm here to tell you, you might not know it, but this millennial reign of Christ is about to come to an end, but you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know to look for the signs. You wouldn't know that you would think that millennial reign is something that yet to come, but you're living it right now. And in that time period that's been set apart is coming to an end. Okay. Now, I want to bring this up here. Now we've gone through and kind of broken this down. These are the other false gods, in which that is so bad. They've been there since the beginning, trying to attack the seed of Adam, and to mock and hurt God. That this bondage, the slavery, there's nothing new. We go unto unto these other gods, and when we go to these other gods, we go into bondage. And typically it starts off all right, where we teach them like we're supposed to, we bring them indigenous truth. A generation or two goes by, and next thing you know, we enslave, and that's just not how it works. That's not how it's supposed to be, And typically, again, this fall that we suffer is pretty dramatic. But I want to present this to you so that you can break that spell, so that you can break the hypnosis and get to indigenous truth. Now, this is to help your family members, your friends, anyone whom you care about, and to try to help them wake up without rocking a world. Okay, because there's a lot of people that are like Morpheus said in the Matrix. They are so deep into the Matrix. They're so plugged in. You try and it's so immersed that if you try to pull them out right now, man, you can kill them. This is what that cognitive dissonance is all about. Because you hitting them with a truth so hard that it just rocks their world and their brain shut down or they go crazy. And one thing I've noticed in my break in trying to stand for indigenous truth, just to see exactly how how much pushback this all that I will get. I get it from every angle on every topic, and I can only imagine with someone who is brand new with less knowledge. And I'm not saying that I'm smart or great, but I've been doing this for a while. I've been following for a while. I've been reading for a while. And I already had a level of foundation going in. But to these our newer generation, this, that, and the other, they know that what they've been told ain't real, but they it's kind of hard to talk to auntie and them. What can you tell auntie who's 20, 30 years your senior? You know what I'm saying? To a 19-year-old who's coming into indigenous truth. So just keep that in mind. But this is to help you understand, because once you're able to recognize their gods, it's easy for you to defeat those gods, not the people who are subjected to them. But in understanding how their gods operate, then you will also understand exactly what the ties that bind, and some efforts aren't worth it. Okay, so bringing this up here because again, I like to share my notes with everybody so that you can read along and do your own research. But in any case, the note goes accordingly. Genesis 3, Matthew 10, and Revelation 9 are tied together by the first verse in Genesis 3, the most subtle beast. Okay, 2 verses prior to Matthew 10:1 include what is known as one of the most peculiar verses in the Bible, New Testament, the Lord of the harvest. Okay, now Matthew 10 actually represents how the beast is subtle. So let's go back. Okay, let's go back. Let's see here. We're gonna go back to Matthew 10. Which one is that on? There we go. All right. So let's check this out here real quick. Okay, can y'all see that all right? Now, 2 verses back. So it takes us to Matthew 9. We're going to go to Matthew 9. 2 verses back. Boom. Okay. That would be 37 and 38. Then he said unto his disciples, the harvest is truly plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Now, if you have the red letter King James Bible, this is Jesus Christ. He's Christos. This is what hail Zeus. This is his words. Okay. Remember what we just read, right? Okay. And when you break down what? Genesis chapter 3. Boom. Back to my notes. Matthew 10:1. That's what we're talking about, right? That beast did what? That beast, asked for, one of them disciples, right? So, all right, where was it? Then he said unto the disciple, right, next chapter, 10:1. Let's go back up. And when he called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. Now, here's what y'all don't know. The reason he's able to cast them out, and it's actually, they talk about it in the scriptures, the New Testament, I remember. He is able to cast them out because he's the Lord of them. He is the Baal of these demons, and they have to follow his orders, his commands. Not because he's some savior. Okay, but in any case, where were we? So So if this Zeus is Hail Zeus, is Isus, okay, not this fake Joshua, okay. Now let's go through it. He just stated, "Pray ye the Lord of the harvest," which is listed as one of the most peculiar lines, okay, because nowhere else in the Bible does it state something about Lord of harvest. But this is a reveal. This is a tale, because there's only one Lord of the harvest, okay. And this is where we again do our homework, okay. And this is real simple. When y'all start doing research, it may sound crazy. It may sound crazy, but it's not as far fetched as you think. Lord of the harvest, right? The Lord of the harvest, okay? Let's see. I know what it was. It's in the wordplay of the word Lord, okay? Lord of the harvest is also God. That's what it was. The God of harvest, when you go through it, actually results into, where's my link? I think I should have put the in there. Sometimes this is what I don't like about Wiki. If you don't put it in there right, it'll take you all over the place. How did I get to it before? Forgive me. Where is it? I'm sorry. Let me shortcut it. And I apologize about having to shortcut it. I just don't want to spend a lot of time. I don't want to spend a lot of time. I want to kind of keep the lesson going. Maybe it's in my search. Oh boy. Thinking of the other chronos. Father Time. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. And it says not to be confused with Chronos, okay? But here it is, Father Time, right? Chronos. Let's go to the other one. Let's see it. Let's make sure I'm not tripping. There we go. Titan of the Harvest. There. Going all over the place. Okay. This is your Reaper God, right? The God of harvest, the God of time. This is the Lord of time. This is Saturn. This is Satan. See, look at that. The Roman deity Satan. Cronus is also identified in classical nuclei with the Saturn. Okay, so this is your Saturn, right? This is the God the Heavenly Father that your Isus, Hail Zeus, is telling you to worship. And we understand the Greek mythology, he ain't lying. That's is the Father. You just refuse to believe such. When it comes down to this dude, he's the god of death. But in any case, let's stay focused on the task at hand. Alrighty. Alright. So Saturn, the god of time, is Lord of the harvest, right? Okay. But and you do the research, this Lord of the harvest is, like I say, is very specific in Greek mythologies, and that's Saturn. And if you understand, Saturn is the one that actually is the Titan who gives birth to Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. Okay, which all goes back into your commandments here, your first commandment when it's talking about some Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. And Brother Lex Bill has broken that down plenty of times. But where you should be now have evolved the thinking and understand that this Zeus is this principality. Okay, this beast is Jesus Christ. This is Zeus. Okay, let's go back. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, let's bring up the notes here real quick. And again, it's kind of weird because when you do the research on it, it states that it's peculiar that Jesus would, use this type of a time. But when you read all of Matthew 10, this is how the beast is subtle. So let's go to Matthew 10. Now we know that this Zeus is talking about let's read it again. Let me go back first. Do it this way. Then he says unto his disciples, the harvest is truly plenteous. Nigga, you the harvest, my so-called Negro. Okay? But the laborers are few. Okay? Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Okay? You are to be harvested. Isn't brother Dan Calloway is telling, got all the videos out about the missing black babies, missing kids. Yeah, we getting harvested, We do the research on this quote unquote Christian worship and strange fruits, and they like to eat us and shit. They like to harvest us like food. Okay. Then he said unto the disciples, the harvest is truly plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth his laborers to the harvest. And let's go read 10. I'm gonna just read 10 straight through. I'm not gonna try to interrupt it, but you need to understand how this beast is subtle and how we keep falling for it. Matthew, how am I doing about time? I can't see my clock, so hopefully I won't take too long to read straight through. Matthew 10. And when he came unto them, his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out, and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. Now the name of the 12 apostles are these: the first Simon, who was called Peter; Andrew his brother; James the son of Zebedee; and John his brother; Philip and Bartholomew; Thomas and Matthew the publican; James the son of Alphaeus; Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus; Simon the Canaanite; Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. These 12 Zeus sent forth, and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, okay, and into the city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go ye rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay, don't go to the Gentiles. You go to the so-called Negro. And when you go to the so-called Negro, okay, verse 7, and as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick. Now you remember, this beast gave him power over what? Unclean spirits, to cast them out and heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. Right, to perform a miracle to incite the belief. Okay. Preach, heal the sick, cleanse the lepers. Okay, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses. Okay, keep your riches at home, because we're gonna be taking theirs. Okay, no script for your journey, neither coats, neither shoes, nor staffs, for the workman is worthy of his meat. Now, anybody who's done their research on Mormon missions, you've done your research on the Crusades, these missionaries who have, and this is their mission, and this is the mission of infiltration and subjugation. This is them diverse is written in the scriptures, and those that believe in this Christ, you preach this to your own people every day. Okay. Now, let's see here. On me, and into whatsoever city or town you shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till ye go thence. And when ye come into the house, salute it. Okay. Now, this is kind of strange or interesting because it says, and into whatever city or town you shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy. And in other words, who has the most amount of influence that you need to influence the rest of the people. Okay? Alrighty. Now, and if the house be worthy, let your peace come unto it. But if it not, but if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whosoever, now remember, in their terms, in the Greek term, peace means to bring war. Okay, this is the god of, this is Zeus. This Esus is the god of war and commerce, and that's what I come in peace mean with the sword. Okay, so if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. Okay, but if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. Okay, all right, and whatsoever ye shall not receive you nor hear your words, then ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. And verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Okay, this is at in modern times. You know what that is? This is that PBS Democratic voice. And when they talk so soft and they sound so unthreatening, but all the words that they use is, it's okay for me to say I'm going to take your kids and do the Joel Osteen voice when I kidnap your children, and because God loves you. You see how that works? And you fall for it. It's a hypnosis. Okay, it's 440 frequency. All right. Now, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. You damn right we will. Okay. You come in with this hijack, and this hijack, you talking about taking our lands, our people. I mean, but understand, this chapter and verse is meant for you. This is their game plan. This is the battle stroke that they are presenting to you, so that they can hijack you. But you didn't realize that this is the actual game plan. And this game plan, again, all this is generated. All this information comes from right here. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God has made. We talking about the beast. I don't want y'all to forget that. Okay? Please, please, please don't forget that. We are talking about this beast. All right. If you keep reading, because I do kind of want to keep going, but I want to also extend the other verses. But this, if you keep reading Matthew 10, this is the blueprint, okay, for the hijack. Alrighty. And okay, so now let's go over to Revelations. And we were looking at Revelations 12:9. This is that one. Yeah, this is this one. Okay. We're looking at Revelations 12:9. Okay. Now, Revelations 12:9, 2 verse prior to Revelation 12:9 includes the war in heaven. He who battles the archangel Michael. So let's look at 2 verses prior. We'll go 7 through 9. I think that's going to allow me to do it. There we go. All right. Didn't know I could do that. All right. Fair enough. Let's see here. Speed that over a little bit. All right. So 2 verses up. Okay. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Okay. So again, 2 verses prior to 12:9 includes the war in heaven. He who battles the archangel Michael. Okay. Then when we go to Revelations 9:1. Revelations 9:1. I think it was this one. Now, 2 verses prior to Revelations 9:1. So let's go back. We have what? We have an angel announces the three woes. Okay, three woes. And again, we go back. So we go to here. Okay. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars. So as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound. Okay? Then you go to the next verse. 9:1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the keys to the bottomless pit. Okay? Now, this represents the 3 in 1, the lords of the pantheon. Okay? And then when you go back to now the three woes. Okay, for me, before I lose my train of thought, why is it three woes? Well, the three woes are what? Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. Let's go back to Exodus chapter 20. Okay, what does the commandment say? This is the first commandment that God has to put in above all other commandments. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which has brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I am the Lord thy God, and the jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children,